Welcome to the Kindness Project, the podcast designed to share stories of kindness and share how kindness can make positive change in our world, one small act at a time.
This episode of the Kindness Project was recorded live on Facebook during lockdown, which explains why we're probably still talking about being stuck indoors. I hope you're enjoying your time outside to the fullest, and thanks for listening to the Kindness Project. This week on the Kindness Project, we talk about disappearing guests, lockdown desperations, and A-level prep.
Good morning.
Hey.
Welcome. Hey.
I was just there puffing out the sound to Jingle Bells if anyone was.
Yeah. Welcome to the Kindness Project. Today is the 29th of April. Why are you looking at me really confused? Today is the 29th of April. We are having an amazing morning because now, for the first time ever on a Kindness Project, our guest isn't here.
Yes.
We were meant to have the amazing Pinky Lalani. We're going live at 9:30, and for some reason, she's not here yet. She may be coming along, so we'll wait and see. So, if there is more nonsensical waffle than usual on a Kindness Project, and I don't know how we can actually do more, the reason being is because we're...
The way we're talking this morning.
So let's move straight on to the question of the podcast.
Introductions.
Oh, I'm joined by a girl who is a master at vagueness. It's Charlotte Dames.
And I'm joined by a man who likes to enter rooms without his top on and say, "Good morning!"
Right,
It's Chris Day.
I was halfway through getting ready. I was just about to have a shave. I thought I'll come in, greet you, make sure you're up. And
Little did you know I've been up for 2 hours at that point.
what have you been doing for 2 hours?
Just laying there.
You are allowed to raise from your bed. I know you're a teenager, but you are allowed to get up
That's like saying, yes, you're allowed to come up from this little, it's like putting me in a cave and going, you're allowed to come out when I've just settled my stuff down.
But you know what? You know what's weird? As it's lockdown, I think that weirdly, I'm desperate to go out now. Do you know what I mean? I'm really. Are you not bothered?
No, I never left the house anyway.
But you do want to get to college, don't you?
Yes.
You do want to start college sooner rather than later. So much so that you've started early and started studying for your A levels, which is all.
Well, I did the GCSE part. I did the GCSE sociology because I didn't do GCSE sociology because it wasn't offered at my school. So I was like, if I'm going to do A-level sociology,
You might as well start.
I might as well start
early.
doing GCSE sociology, and now I've finished that, and now I'm doing A-level sociology.
So
A-level English literature.
So good morning to Steve, good morning to Russ, good morning to Barry, good morning to Lorraine. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Whoever one other person is.
We really somebody anonymous is.
Oh, no, it's Justin.
It's Justin. Hi Justin, how are you?
He just sent us a message.
The anonymous person is Justin. It's all right, we know who it is now. You're not anonymous anymore, Justin. And thank you to Justin for sharing the work we're doing on the Kindness Project, if you can call this nonsensical waffle work, and sharing the stories. And actually, what I love about this platform that we've got is the opportunity to connect some of our guests with people who might be able to collaborate with, and we've been doing that a decent amount in recent times.
I was just checking to see if anyone was in your Zoom room.
I don't know if they are. So thank you to Justin for offering to help a couple of my guests, and I really hope that connection works out for you. So I just want to talk about being vague, because as a teenager, you know a lot about this. I said to you this morning, you had a Zoom chat with two of your best mates yesterday. How'd it go?
Went well.
What did you talk about?
Stuff.
What is stuff? What does that mean?
And I told you I have a right to my privacy.
Was it personal, that stuff? Or was it random?
It was just random.
It was random. So give me a flavour of one of the random subjects that you talked about.
So, because of this whole Disney Plus being in the UK now, it has been for a little while. I don't know why I'm celebrating.
Yeah.
But we were talking about the Avengers, because I did the whole marathon. And now I have loads of memes on my phone of the Avengers. We were just kind of
Have the other two girls seen all the Avengers movies or not?
One of them has.
Okay.
But, not all of them. She's a couple off the end, I think. But
how dare she? How dare she? But yeah. So I thought when you were being vague, I thought you were being vague because you was having a conversation about something deeply private, personal, not the Avengers, which is standard chat fare. Morning, Gabby. doing? How are you? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. So I want to come on to question of the podcast. Now, weirdly, it's not one we've had many answers on the interweb for already. So we're literally, I was a bit late. But what we're relying on now is our live audience to really bring it home and come out with some amazing answers.
6 live viewers.
All 6 of you.
One of them is probably me.
I told you about what Grandad said to me yesterday, didn't I? He went, we've had 20,000 viewers on the Kindness Project. It's just that we go out live and there's about 10.
We go out live at 9:30 in the morning.
Live viewers, if you can, nobody watches live TV anymore. Nobody watches live Facebooks anymore, do they?
No.
It's all catch up, isn't it? I don't know. But the question of the podcast is, what's been your funniest lockdown experience? Because we can all it's a particularly tough time for all of us, but in our house it's created weird segments of humour, normally in just bizarre conversations we have normally, but we've just been having more of them. So what has been your funniest, most amusing lockdown experience? Where can people get in touch with us?
Okay, so if you're currently watching this, I'm going to stick to my self-made format. Here we go. If you're currently watching this, you're on our Facebook. Woo! Thanks, guys. Means a lot. So if you're not currently watching this, our Facebook can be found by just searching the Kindness Project podcast in the Facebook search bar. Yeah. So at Twitter we are at Ola Kindness. How often do we post on Twitter?
After I was right, so he's the boss of Twitter.
So we have a website and it's
www.thekindnessproject.co.uk. You can listen to any of the 130 different podcasts we've done over the past 2 years. The podcast, weirdly, is super popular. So we have 30,000 subscribers to that listen in and tune in every week. So give that a listen. And when guests turn up on the audio podcast, they're amazing. They're really, really good. So we've interviewed people from large UK national charities through to tiny little two-man charities, through to people who contribute to their local community, through to people who recognise leadership and kindness in leadership, through to business leaders who doing awesome stuff with their companies just to be great people. So any stories of people doing great stuff in the world, we share. And let me highlight one particular story that, if you haven't listened to the podcast, might be worth giving it a go. There's a guy, and I can't remember his name now, but it will come to me throughout the course of this interview. This guy got introduced to me, and he is the Queen's representative in Havering, right? So when the Queen gets invited to an event, clearly she can't go to every single event, okay? And she has these representatives in every local borough all over the country who actually they're called chief lieutenants, and they act as the Queen's representative to turn up at these events. And in particular, they go to events that promote and encourage social inclusion. So their job is to go along to community events where the community is getting together regardless of race, religion. It's all about making sure that people stay connected and stay together. And the guy in Havering who does this is in his late 70s now. His name will come to me, and I'll put a link on the show notes. Amazing guy. He used to be a police officer. He used to be a detective in the flying squad in the 70s and 80s. And literally, we had a 3-hour chat, not only about the amazing work he does now, but how his life in the 70s was just like a detective show of the 70s, where it was all like it was a bit dodgy. It was really, really interesting to have a chat with him about. So we get the opportunity, and we'll put a link in the show notes to that particular 2 parts of that interview. He does amazing work now, but also he's got some amazing wisdom because he's in his 70s, but also some amazing stories to share. So we'll put a link in the show notes to that.
We missed one. I realised it about halfway through your tangent we hadn't mentioned the email.
Okay, didn't hear, man.
So it's honour@thekindnessproject.co.uk. See, now all's well that ends well.
Yeah, and please let us know what's been your most amusing, funniest lockdown experience, the one that really makes you laugh. What's yours?
We had that thing in the... No, that wasn't funny.
Yeah. What?
I was going to say we had that thing in the garden, I fell in that chair, but I got stuck, and I found it very hard to breathe, so that's not funny.
Yeah, I know. I should know now by the way you tell your jokes that you don't understand the concept of funny, but
I'm just an empathetic laugher. If someone starts
you know
laughing...
what? You are.
That's it.
You are. I mean, that Dina's joke yesterday was so weird. I mean, she had to explain it to me, and I don't know whether a joke explained is actually funny, but I actually found it amusing when she explained it, because apparently her sense of humour means that she just makes it random at the end.
Someone starts laughing, that's it. I'm just like, I don't even have to understand why it's funny. I just...
Yeah.
set 'em going.
But the other thing is teaching Cassie's dad how to use Zoom, which we failed at. So, unofficial question of the podcast is: have you had any bizarre Zoom experience apart from guests not turning up, which has happened to us this morning? Weirdly,
never again.
How's your experience with technology been during lockdown?
It's fine. I've been out.
You've been in, out. You've been shaking it all about. You've been doing the okey cokey.
No, maybe we should do that. Add that to the karaoke night roster, yeah?
Oh, yes. What's your karaoke song of choice?
Black Heart Stooshy.
Black Heart Stooshy. I thought it was pronounced Stoosh, but...
I don't know. I've been pronouncing it that way since I was like 10? Was I 10?
Okay.
Do you remember when we sat in the car and listened to that album?
That is an amazing song. Black Heart by Stoosh is a really good song. So, what we'll do is move on to Dave Forsdyke's Silver Linings. Birds and animals have been quick to fill the spaces left quiet during lockdown. Several species usually found in remote locations have been seen in the now quiet streets of major cities. Peregrine falcons in Parliament, red-crowned parrots in Pasadena, and a puma in Santiago are just a few of the usual sightings. Just imagine going out for your daily walk and just seeing a puma just having a stroll down the street. What animal would you be most surprised? What are you laughing at?
What do I say? Every time someone says puma, I automatically have two images in my head. One is this cat thing. It's an animal, but it's a cat. And then these shoes. And I imagine this man walking down the street
in a pair of pumas.
In a pair of pumas. And he sees this big cat and he sticks his foot out and he goes, "We match."
Sorry, Puma. Is that what you're saying? You've got pumas, I've got pumas. I tell you what one I'd bet on at surviving a puma mauling. I'd rather go against the shoes, to be honest. I don't know if a puma's aggressive. I'm not sure.
I think it depends.
Oh, it depends. Okay. Number 2 is scientists predict the lockdown could result in a long-lasting positive environmental change after the pandemic. That's certainly true. Thirdly, air quality continues to improve across the UK during lockdown as we've all been travelling less and burning less fuel, which is all good. Do you want to do that one?
Sure. Strictly winning professional Oti Mabuse and her partner Maurice, is that how you say it? Marius Le Pure.
Yeah. Don't know.
I don't know why I said Maurice the first time. I was like
Maurice. Go on.
Anyway,
because you've been getting into Beauty and the Beast in a big way.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Anyway, every day they pick a well-known pop song and teach a dance routine from their front room. Here's the latest, a routine for kids in America.
Oh, amazing song. Little kids in America. And Ramblers are mapping all the walking routes in the UK. The Slow Ways Initiative aims to provide an online map of UK walking routes so people can stomp safely from town to town rather than taking the car when the lockdown is lifted. You know what I realised the other day? I haven't driven for, certainly since lockdown, but probably a few weeks before that. Probably for 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. And you know what? I'm not missing it. I'm not missing it at all. Do you fancy learning to drive or not?
Nah, I might get a motorbike.
Don't do that to me. Get a motorbike. Why are you getting a motorbike? Right, I might get a motorbike. I'll tell you what, announce that on the podcast. Unofficial question of your podcast. Your teenage daughter asked for a motorbike. What's the right answer to that? I mean, genuinely. Yeah, no worries. Just bang out on the road. That's fine. Thank you. Morning, Dawn. How are you? Now, Dawn, interestingly, has been doing some miles on a push bike. So maybe you should start with a push bike.
No, push bikes are scary.
Right, but why are push bikes scary and motorbikes are no worries? No worries. I'll go 30 mile an hour. No, that's way too scary. I'm going to go 60 mile an hour instead.
Because drivers respect people on push bikes less, so you're more likely to get run over.
Okay, fair enough. Justin Gaffney's got a funny lockdown story for us. Funniest lockdown moment has been my neighbour sneaking down for a quick cigarette by the front wall in just his boxer shorts, jacket and sliders. Bold fashion choice. And the main front door shut, leaving him in the street in that very fetching attire. He needed to knock on my window to let him back in, so his girlfriend wouldn't know he sneaked out for a crafty fag. That is an amazing lockdown story, and I'm sure there's a few of them going on. So, what motorbike are you going to get?
I was mostly saying it as a joke. But,
Oh, God. But don't scare me. Like, just genuinely. I think there's nothing. I mean, I've never been into motorbikes, but I don't think I'll be doing that anytime soon. Do you want to like just mention every other thing you might want to do, which is a teenage dad of a teenager's nightmare? Do you want to get, like, I don't know, all your hair shaved off? Oh, you're going to do that? Yeah, you're going to do that. Do you want to get like piercings or tattoos?
Maybe.
What? Okay, fair enough. So I'm definitely. Not only have we not got a guest today, I've just failed at parenting because my daughter's going to get a motorbike and loads of tattoos.
I said loads. I was thinking like one.
So we didn't get any answers to question in the podcast, but what I do want to mention is a couple of other answers we had to previous questions. So last time we had a question in the podcast, we had what is your current binge watch, and we had a few extra answers we didn't get the chance to mention yesterday. I'm going to spend
this time while you're reading these aloud to find my joke for today.
Go on then, find your joke. You're not Googling motorbikes to buy, though, are you? You're not on a... Where'd you buy a motorbike?
Bright red
Auto Trader or somewhere like that. A bright red motorbike. You're not worried about, like, the...
Sleek black.
Do not scare me. Do not scare me. Like, first thing you want to do... I'll tell you what, I'll buy you a trike. How's that? Let's start with a trike, and then you can move on to potentially more dangerous vehicles as time goes on. So John Charman's mentioned the fact that years ago he had a proper marathon binge watch on Breaking Bad. Again, that's one of my favourite series. Richard Jones said, I wholly recommend 24. It will change your life. 24 is an amazing show. And Padraig Floyd said, in the evenings, we've watched Jonathan Creek. Now, have you ever watched Jonathan Creek?
No.
I think you'd really, really, really enjoy that show. So, very short show today. Shall we do your daily
terrible. I didn't have
joke?
enough time to find it.
Now, as this current episode has been more shambolic nonsense than usual, this joke better be good to redeem ourselves for today. So off you go.
No, it's not that good.
Okay.
What do you call a cow with the twitch?
Don't know.
Beef jerky.
Beef jerky. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, our days can only get better. Thanks for watching whatever this was this morning. Have a lovely day. See you next time.
Bye.